Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Tuesday, January 18, 2022. Time is 3:50. This is part 2 to the video that I just did regarding the message I got from a ranking police officer who questions my view of law enforcement. And I want to say it's a friendly objection to what he thinks that I say. And anyway, so he sent me this story, and it's reported on the Police Tribune, and this is dated January 17, 2022. This came out of Milwaukee, and here it is. I'll read it to you. It says, carjacking victim details Milwaukee cops' heroics even after he was shot rescuing her. I wonder if he would have did the same thing if it was a man, because, you know what I'm saying? Men act a little differently when it comes to women. You know, women are the damsels in distress. So there's the story right there. I will put the link in the description so you can go check it out yourself if you like. All right, let's read this and find out what it says. I didn't hear anything about this. I woke up this morning with the message, and here I am. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the food delivery driver who was rescued from a carjacker on Thursday called the officer on duty. I don't know. It doesn't sound right here. Milwaukee police detective who was shot multiple times after coming to her rescue, a hero who didn't care about his own safety. He probably should have cared about his own safety. It would be better to let the car get carjacked than get killed. That's my opinion about it, but that's just me. Hey, I'm not checking out early because the car is being jacked. I'll do what I can to help, but if I'm going to get fired at, that's a different story. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know the whole thing. But anyway, the carjacking occurred about 2 p.m. on January 13th in 200 block East Buffalo Street in front of the Shake Shack in the 3rd Ward, according to Milwaukee Police Department press release. Now, I wonder what kind of neighborhood that was. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be called a racist. I've been called that a few times because I call out the truth, the reality. I'm not a racist, people. I'm a realitist. The food delivery driver told WITI that she parked her vehicle on the street with her 3 daughters in the back seat while she ran in to pick up an order at Shake Shack. So, okay, she must be one of those door dashers. She said she was walking toward the restaurant when she saw Shake Shack employees gesturing wildly at her and pointing, so she left her 3 kids in the car unattended and left the door unlocked. So that's a problem right there. This is a situation she created. Nobody's talking about that, right, people? Their car pulled up next to mine. The would-be carjacking victim told WITI he jumped out and jumped into mine. But the carjacker wasn't expecting what he found in the back seat. My daughter said, "Who are you?" to him, and he turned around and said, "Whoa," and jumped out, the delivery driver said. She said she watched the would-be carjacker run away and realized that he had dropped his phone. Oh, geez. Dropped the phone on the ground next to her car, WITI reported. Boy, this is just going bad for everybody here. I went and grabbed the phone and then told the restaurant to call 911. She recalled. "Call them, please. I have his phone." And that was when things went sideways, WITI reported. As I'm talking, saying, "I have his phone," he heard me, and he turned towards me and came rushing at me, wrapped his arms around me, and, tried to tackle me to the... She should have just thrown the phone. People, just throw the phone. It's just not worth it. He heard me, and he turned towards me and came rushing me, wrapped his arm, tackled me to the ground to get his phone back, she said. There was a 37-year-old off-duty Milwaukee police detective inside the Shake Shack who rushed to the rescue. The delivery driver, WITI reported, they were wrestling on the ground, and then you heard 2 shots followed by more shots. She described the terrifying scene. While that was happening, the restaurant employees were pulling me to the back, and I was trying to get to my kids, she told WITI. She said she saw the officer who had intervened to save her bleeding on the ground, but he still didn't seem to be worried about himself, just about the safety of the public and stopping the criminal. I suspect he had tunnel vision and was caught up in the whole situation and probably didn't realize the extent of his injuries. The whole time he was on the ground, he was just repeating the plate number and what he wanted them to write down, so he just didn't care about himself at all, she told WITI. Milwaukee police in its press release said that the detective returned fire, but there was no indication anyone had been hit. And see, that's another, he's wildly firing at this guy and bullets could go flying. Officers spotted the suspect vehicle later in the 2700 block of West Street and attempted to stop the car, but the driver refused to stop and fled with police in pursuit. Milwaukee police said the pursuit ended shortly thereafter and the suspect fled on foot. Officers quickly apprehended a 17-year-old male. Oh, great. I wonder where his father is. This is another product of a single-parent home. The 18-year-old was apprehended a 17-year-old and an 8-year-old. The 18-year-old was already out on on bond, facing charges. You know what? I'm telling you something, people. We got to start rounding up these single parents that are raising these little monsters. You know what? You round up both parents because one parent obviously is absent in the kid's life, and that's the father. And the father's probably just as bad as the kid is. So you need to start rounding up these parents who are raising these little monsters. Why is this 17-year-old out running around doing these things? The 18-year-old was already put on bond, facing charges in connection with a crime he allegedly committed in October of 2021. The delivery driver called the police detective who rescued her a hero for rushing to help her. The wounded detective remains in a hospital in stable condition, recovering from multiple wounds. Officials have not released the name of the wounded hero. She said she was grateful that none of her daughters were hurt in the attempted carjacking and said she wasn't working as a delivery driver in the city because she didn't feel safe. Well, you might want to start locking your kids in the car when you get out of it. Turn the key off, take the key with you, lock the door, go in, get your stuff, come back out. I have never, ever left my kid in a car alone in a bad neighborhood. We're just trying to get through right now the trauma, the mother explained. Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office was expected to announce charges against the would-be cop killers this week, according to the police department's press release. And that is the story. So, okay, so you had a detective that was in the Shake Shack. Yeah, anybody ever been in the Shake Shack? We have one open here in Eatontown at the Monmouth Mall. And I went in there, and first of all, there's a mile-long line, but then I looked at the prices of it, and I said, screw that. I'm not paying for that. It's too much money. So you got a detective in the Shake Shack, and she comes in there, and next thing you know, this two idiots jump up to... They went to the car because there's nobody in it, and was the car running? This woman created that situation, and this officer's lucky to be alive. He intervened with it, and... she should have just thrown the phone back at him and been done with it, but she didn't. She held onto that phone, and then, of course, that officer, he's probably, the most qualified person to do anything about it, and he ran out there and, risk it. But, people, he was out there because he was enforcing a law. It's against the law to hijack a car. It's against the law to take a woman, slam her to the ground, and hurt her. It's against the law. So he saw a law being broken, and he went out there and he enforced it. And, of course, in the enforcement, he took a couple bullets. Fortunately, praise the Lord, he is going to be okay. I don't advocate police officers being hurt. So, anyway, that is my opinion of the situation there. Was he being a hero? Was he not being a hero? That is the question, people. I'm going to let you answer it. I'm not going to answer that question. I'll leave you be guessing. Was that officer being a hero, or is he just doing his job to enforce laws? I will put the link in the description. You can go read the full article yourself. If I can find anything on it, I will include it. Maybe there's some video. That'd be nice. Some video on some surveillance video or something. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed, responding to a message that I got from a ranking police officer. Till next time, people.